So, in reflecting on the second section in Song of Prayer, the forgiveness section, we are invited to see the significance of forgiveness. I'm recalling a Bible verse that says, before you come to the altar, if you have anything against your brother, to make amends with him, to seek resolution. And in that same manner, here we're being told that true forgiveness is being asked of us. And the reason is, if we are holding grievances against our brothers, we are holding them in any kind of condemnation, any vision we have of them of being sinful. We are preventing God's presence from descending upon us or from reaching us. God has the same amount of love, the same gift of love for each individual. Each individual is equal in the eyes of God. If we are holding anyone outside of that love ourselves, we are also holding ourselves outside of that love. And it's a very difficult passage when they're describing the different ways in which we forgive to destroy, and they give 3 examples: one where one's better than another and they're forgiving, one where they're receiving this hurt from another and still holding them in guilt and condemnation, and the other is where there's still holding on. There's the forgiveness to destroy. And in each of these cases, we find that's not true forgiveness. A true forgiveness is willing to look beyond the behavior and the person who is presenting characteristics that are unpleasant to us or offensive. And also reminding us that we see those sins because we ourselves are either responsible for sins such as those or are looking down on others for that. And in a sense, we're tied up in those sins just the same. So no matter the degree of the sin to which we hold our brothers to, at some level, we feel guilt about those very same sins. So there's a really important part where they're discussing the fact that all forgiveness is for yourself. You're not really forgiving any people. The people that are coming forth with the sins are actually reflections of your own understanding of who you are, of what sins you carry in your heart, what you haven't released yet. And so each person that's presenting the sin to us is actually a messenger and an invitation from Christ to see each one as free from those sins, to not hold those sins against our brothers, to respond to them as Christ. And it is the ultimate freedom that we extend to them when we do that. In not seeing them with those eyes of condemnation and guilt, we liberate ourselves and we liberate them. And we call upon Christ in them to help us see ourselves and also to help them see themselves in this light. The liberation comes as they're being seen in this light, that they would recognize themselves in this light. And it's not even for that purpose, but that is an effect of that. And that true forgiveness is this looking for the face of Christ, knowing that this love that God has is beyond all of these seemingly evil expressions that happen in the world. And it is abiding with love, abiding with God, and asking to be shown what we don't understand. That if we see our brothers in this light that's tainted with shadow and darkness, that we ourselves are holding ourselves in condemnation with our brother. And if we truly want to pray and we truly want to be in communion with God, we have to love as God does. And that is the purpose of forgiveness, to free us from entanglement of sin and death. And when we do that, then we enter into this communion because we are loving as God loves. This is us coming into our true nature, identifying only with love, not identifying with anything else, not getting caught up or stuck in any other way of seeing. And this is true forgiveness, and it's true freedom. And when this is achieved, then it's not needed anymore. So forgiveness is not ongoing as prayer is. Forgiveness is necessary to clear obstructions so we can enter into this communion. But it's very necessary.